welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I hope you're all having a lovely Sunday. I think this video is going up on Sunday. If it's not, if it's another day, I hope you're enjoying that day too. Today is my November book haul, so books that I've managed to get my mitts on so far in November. Christmas books, picture books, exciting books, all exciting books. If you are interested in, so some of these I've bought myself, some of them I've been gifted, some of them I've been sent by the publisher, and I will put a little asterisk next to them, so I'll list them all below, and I put a little asterisk next to them if the publisher sent them to me, just in case you are so interested. But let's get cracking, shall we? I'm very excited. The first one I'm really excited about is Mangoes and Mistletoe by Adriana Herrera. I heard about this book, I think it was on Lauren Wade's channel. Lauren Wade Reads, remember that channel? She was reading this on her e-reader, and I was like, oh, I think I would be interested in that. And as you can tell from the title, it is a Christmas book. It's called Mangoes and Mistletoe, and it follows two female chefs, Kiskaya and Sully, who are both competing in a baking competition at Christmas. I think it's called the Holiday Baking Challenge, which is taking place in Scotland this year. And they are competing in that and keen to win, but also fancy each other a bit, so very much looking forward to that. That's just like a little Christmas novella, obviously that's going to be read around Christmas time. I seem to be picking up the old Christmas romances this year, which is not normally a genre I go for, but yeah, I feel very excited about that. And then I've also got, which I've featured in, so I'm filming this on the day that Cozy Reader Night is taking place. It's taking place tonight, yeah, I'll be reading this book tonight, and I've included it in my TBR, and it will be in my vlog obviously, but that's Serpentine by Philip Pullman. I'm not actually that sure what this is about, so I picked it up in, we've just gone into lockdown 2.0 in the UK, and I picked this up in Waterstones the day before the lockdown happened, and was like, oh yeah, I definitely want that, and didn't really recall what it was about, but it's a little, I don't even know if you'd call this a novella, because it's literally like 60 something pages, but it's an illustrated story from within the his Dark Materials and the Book of Dust world, and I believe, I might find I'm wrong once I've read it, but I believe it's about the time that Pan, Lyra's demon and Lyra spent apart, which takes place in, does it take place in The Subtle Knife? I think it does take place in The Subtle Knife. No, it doesn't. It takes place in the book, the Amber Spyglass. Anyway, I think it's about that, but I'll be able to confirm more once I've read it. But yeah, that's I've got that, and I'm looking forward to that very much. Then I've got, speaking of Waterstones, earlier this year, like when I was in like July or August, I was in Waterstones with Simon. We met up and had a little meal. Remember those days, meeting up and stuff like that? And we were in Waterstones, and I was buying these Maggie O'Farrell, they had like, Maggie O'Farrell's books have been republished recently with these lovely sort of bright front covers, bright spines. I've got a couple of them, and one of them I was sort of like agonising over was The Distance Between Us, and Simon was like, I've actually got a copy of that at home, don't get it, I will send it to you, and he kindly did. So this is about two people, Stella, who is in London, and Jake, who's in Hong Kong, celebrating Chinese New Year, and both of they know nothing of each other, but they decide that they want to leave their lives, and Jake is in search of a place so remote it doesn't appear on a map, and Stella for a destination in Scotland, the significance of which only her sister Nina will understand. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And then the other Maggie O'Farrell book I've got that's on my TBR for this month, that also features Scotland, so yeah, I wonder if that's a play. I've read and loved I Am, which is a non-fiction book by Maggie O'Farrell, and then Hamnet, and then I think maybe I've read Instructions for a Heatwave. I can't really remember it very well, but I know, like, I'm excited to read Maggie O'Farrell. That's how it's going. Oh, the next one's actually going to be, spoiler, this one's going to be appearing in my Christmas gift guide. So do I want to show it here? Yeah, I do. So I won't go into too much details about it, but this is Word Perfect by Susie Dent, and this is etymological entertainment for every day of the year. And every day of the year, it gives you a word, and it goes into the... Susie Dent, by the way. I don't know what you call her job title, but I know her through appearing on Countdown, which is a show in the UK where you have to make up words from random words that you're given. I very much enjoy it, and they also do like a comedy version called 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, and she appears on that and is extremely like talented, wonderful with words, and this book is a collection of some of her favourite words, each ascribed to a different day of the year, so whatever day of the year you're on, you might find it. I've already looked at today, so I know what it is. Actually, today's isn't the best example really, because it's more initials than it is a word, but it's AI. So it's all about artificial intelligence. So yeah, just very, very interesting and beautifully like gold, lovely, pretty book. The next two books were a delight and a surprise to me. So earlier this month, the new film of The Secret Garden came out. Which stars Colin Firth and I think Julie Walters. I haven't got round to watching it. Now, when I was younger, I used to have a video of a version of The Secret Garden, I remember the old VHSs, and I used to watch that. I've never read the book, but actually I got sent 2 copies of the book to celebrate the coming out of this film. And also they sent me some really lovely stuff, like a little, like obviously a tote bag, always a tote bag, really, really beautiful tote bag, a water bottle, and some perfumes, which was really, really nice. But also a film, the film front cover of The Secret Garden, which has got here, like, it just looks lovely. It's got like all this gold on it and things like that. And that came out on October the 23rd, and that is on Sky Cinema. We must watch that, David. He's got no interest in watching this. Do you want to watch The Secret Garden? Shaking his head, but I do, so maybe I'll watch it today. And then also this amazing one, which is the Mina Lima version of The Secret Garden, and this is a beautifully illustrated edition of The Secret Garden with, it says here, lavishly illustrated with interactive elements. So I know Mina Lima through doing the a lot of the work on the Harry Potter films. They did a lot of the artwork, particularly around, you probably recognise it from the Weasley's Wizard and Wheezes shop, all of the tickets and things like that, any sort of artwork, the photo, the pictures and things like that, just amazing, amazing work. And I've been to their shop in London to look at this, but I didn't realise they did stuff other, well, I mean, obviously they must have done stuff other than that, but this book, which is about the Secret Garden, it has, like I said, so all as well as being like absolutely so beautifully illustrated, like I feel like I could cry looking at some of these. Look at this, the road went up and down. It's also got interactive elements. So if I just show you this, I'm really carefully, because I want to read this and have a lovely time with it. This is a, look, it all folds out, and it's like a map of the garden, this bit. Oh no, it's a map, I don't know, oh god, it's just absolute. So that's like, so, and there's things of that throughout the book, and obviously I don't want to show you all of them to spoil them, but what a beautiful thing to be sent. I couldn't believe it. When I opened the package and it was so heavy, I was like, oh, why is that so heavy? I knew there was going to be a version of the book in there. There's another one with a door that you open. Oh god, it's just absolutely unbelievable. I was absolutely delighted with this, and you know what? These aren't really, I thought this was going to be like a super expensive, and it says here, I mean, this has got US prices on the back, but $29.99, which I was surprised, like, considering how heavy it is and how beautiful it is. So yeah, wanted to read The Secret Garden anyway. Now I've been given this, yes please, so we'll get round to reading that. Then I've got this book, which is another beautiful book, which I didn't actually realise. So I got a book break, you know, the channel that's run by Emma at Pam Macmillan. She sent out an email saying, oh, would anybody be interested in any of these books? And the email shows, and she does a video of this, like where she does a video every month. In fact, I love watching those videos, where it's her doing a publishing house book haul, so like this, but the books that the publishing house are publishing that month, and it's really interesting to watch, and like just to see all, even genres of stuff I don't like read, I'm just like, oh, it's really interesting they've got coming out. But more recently she's been doing them from home, and not including the books there and then. She used to open a book box and have all the books there, but just including the front covers. And the reason I'm going into so much detail about this is that she included the front cover of this book, which is Wild City, Meet the Animals Who Share Our City Spaces, which is written by Ben Hoare and illustrated by Lucy Rose. So this front cover was just sort of like small next to her head, and I thought it was like a paperback non-fiction book about animals who are living in the city, and I was like, oh my god, that sounds so interesting. Well, when it arrived and I realised it was a beautifully illustrated children's book, I was just so delighted. So this is lovely, and again, it gives me the sort of like feelings of when I was younger and I used to get a non-fiction book for Christmas and just sit there like poring over it. Here it's got New York, so it's got like different things that would appear in the park in New York, down to like in the underground in the UK, what things appear there. For example, a house mouse, cellar spider, elephant trunk snake, reticulated python, and a water monitor. But yeah, all over the place, and it's just, oh, it's just absolutely beautiful, the illustrations, and it's really like autumnal feeling, so lots of like oranges and browns, and just looks so pretty. And yeah, oh, that's nice, isn't it, the Cities at Night page. But oh god, absolutely gorgeous, can't wait to read that, gonna really enjoy that. And she also sent me Black and British, A Short Essential History by David Olusoga. This was originally an adult book, and this has been sort of edited and reimagined as a children's book, going back to all the sort of like periods in history, Tudors, Stuarts, late Georgians, etc. Like speaking about what it was like to be Black and British throughout history. Think it's really, really interesting, and I feel like it's really cool that they've done this for kids to make it more and more accessible for all, which obviously it needs to be. So yeah, there we go, excited about that. Then, beloved, I've got a poem for every winter day, which is edited by Ali Essery. Now, you might know that David and I are currently working through a poem for every autumn day, which is the very same setup as this, where you get 2 poems every single day. David and I are taking it in turns every day to read one of those poems aloud to one another. We've just been having such a lovely time, and it's really, really like lovely and specific, because for instance, yesterday in the UK was bonfire night. So that's the 5th of November, and there's a famous poem which is like, I only ever remember the first word, the first line, remember the 5th of November. And it was that whole poem for yesterday. So it has, and it's just really like highlights things that I didn't know, like it, there'll be poems about particular people's birthdays, like for example in a poem for every autumn day there was 2 poems on the day of Harriet Tubman's birthday. And it just, yeah, just sort of like highlights things, as well as being like very like poems about the season and about things that are happening. There's a lot of, in the autumn one, because I haven't read this one yet obviously because it's not winter, but there was a lot of like poems about stationery and books at the beginning of September, because that's when people are going back to school, and just really lovely. So I'm really looking forward to continuing our poetry journey with a poem for every winter day, yeah, there'll be hopefully some Christmas ones, and these front covers are just amazing. So the autumn one is gold and orange, so the front cover's orange and then it's got gold on it, and this is this like baby blue, what's the other, how would you describe this? Powder blue, is that one? With like copper on it, and it's got some bells and a sledge and some hot chocolate and some mittens and a reindeer and some Christmas trees, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into that one as well, so that'll be great. Then this arrived, very excited about this, Lady Sidekick, 50 Tired Tropes for Women by Annika Harry and illustrated by Laura Dockrell. Now, Laura Dockrell might be a name you're familiar with if you've been around here for a while. She wrote Big Bones, which is one of my favourite books of all time, which is just a YA book about a girl who loves herself, body positive, eats what she wants, has a lovely time, and it's a book told through food memories and food things that are happening. And I love Laura, and I've been to a Lush book club and met her there, and she's just amazing. And she also is an illustrator, and here this is a book of sort of like pulled together tired tropes for 50 tired tropes for women, written by Annika Harry and illustrated by Laura herself. And it's just lovely, like the end papers are really, really nice, bright pink with these women's faces on and stuff like that. And it's just got sort of like looking at different, like how society views different types of women, and they're sort of like, and like making a joke of people's, let's be honest, Daily Mail views on people. So for instance, the bimbo, on Wednesday she wears pink, and on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays she's stupid but stunning and her daddy's rich. Now somebody find her a gorgy guy to adore quick before she starts talking and ruining the view. So yeah, that's it's all different, like 51s of those, so I'm really looking forward to having a little dive into there. Now this arrived and I wasn't expecting it to. This is from Europa, and this is Interior Chinatown by Charles Yu. So I hadn't been asked about this or asked for it, so it was a lovely surprise when something arrives. And it does sound great, because sometimes things arrive and I'm like, oh, I don't know how much I'll be into that. So this is a deeply affecting and hilarious novel about race, assimilation and popular culture. Willis Wu mostly gets to play generic Asian man. If he's lucky, sometimes he gets to be background oriental, making a weird face, or even disgraced son. Every day Wu leaves the single room in Chinatown where he lives and makes his way to the Golden Palace restaurant, the set of a cop show that is in perpetual production. For now he's a bit player, his dream that one day he will be offered the most coveted role someone who looks like him might aspire to, Kung Fu guy. Inspired by his mother who tells him to be more, Wu confronts the insidious power of stereotypes in this moving family story of a man learning how to become a son, brother, father and partner in a world that treats him as barely human. So yeah, I thought that sounded really, really interesting. And actually, like, on flicking through it, obviously because his job is an actor, there's a lot of like film scripts and stuff in here, as well as like novel stuff. But oh, hold on, I think maybe it is a whole script. Oh, when I first flicked through I didn't realise that, but it looks like the whole thing's told by a script. So that's really, really interesting. So there we go. And then the last ones I've got here are some Christmas books, and in particular they're children's Christmas books. So I wanted to show you these, but I just to get in a bit of Christmas spirit. So just lovely, a couple of really lovely Christmas books. So the first two are little board books, and these are for younger people. And we've got Dear Santa by Rob Campbell, and this is the 15-year anniversary. So it's got all this lovely gold ribbon on it and stuff. And this book is very familiar, not to me as a child because I wouldn't have been of this age, but I've seen it over the years of like visiting friends' babies and stuff like that. And this is lovely, and it's just got all these lovely flaps with lovely illustrations in, very sort of nostalgic to look at, and love that. And then I've also got my Magical Snowman, which is this book which has got all of these sort of like cogs, not just your standard like flaps, like cogs and doors to open and things like that. Yeah, lovely couple of board books. Then I've also got this. It's Flap City in Christmas books, isn't it? So I've got Meerkat Christmas, and this is from Emily Gravett, yeah, this is all about, this is another book which is like got little flaps with Christmas cards and things like that on it. Lovely illustrations. Love all the Christmas books out at this time. These are perfect. My sister is doing an advent calendar for my niece with books in, every day they were gonna do 12 days, but I think they might even do 24 now. So these sort of things are really perfect for like all ages, that you can like wrap up in an advent calendar every single year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then this one, I've bought this for my goddaughter Molly for Christmas, but I wanted to show it now because I'm going to be reading it before I wrap it up. Molly won't mind, and that's Santa Post by Emma Yartlett. This might look familiar. Last year I bought about 5 children, Beast Feast by Emma Yartlett, which was a lovely book in a similar way of like telling the story. The illustrations are just beautiful, and then it has again oh god, look at that one, and then it has again like little flap, let me find one, things to open. So for instance here, you're helping Santa find presents and things like that, and you're part of the hunt for it. So yeah, that is lovely, and that will be going to Molly. I bought that for Molly for Christmas, but I'll be reading it first. So those are some of the books that I got my hands on in the month of November. Let me know what books you've got your hands on. Let me know if you've started collating the old Christmas books yet. Are you as excited about Christmas as I am? I'm so excited about Christmas, I'm gonna have to take my jumper off because I've got a bit warm. I will see you all again soon for another book video. Goodbye!